All right, guys. So happy Asynchronous Wednesday. Just want to go over with you the assessment that we're going to get started on today. We're going to spend the rest of the week on this. You're going to do short answers today, tomorrow, graphic organizer, Friday, writing draft. Okay, so that's kind of the deal. So just so you kind of budget your time moving forward here. So um, DBQ essay, this is directly off of Regents. This is off of the January 2007 Regents exam. So I'm not watering this down at all. This is exactly what you get from the state. So just going to kind of go over this with you. Essentially, this is all about French Revolution. And I'm not going to read all this word for word, but the different aspects of the task here are you need to discuss the causes with an S, so more than one. Discuss the political, economic, and or social causes of the French Revolution. We need to discuss how the French Revolution affected people in France. And we need to discuss how the French Revolution impacted the world outside of France. Okay? And we've spent plenty of time talking about all of this stuff. As far as causes go, I know we've spoken about the estate system and the unfair taxation of the third estate. I know we've talked about the Enlightenment. We've talked about financial crisis, and we've talked about Louis XVI and his queen Marie Antoinette spending the people's tax money on themselves. We've gone through a lot of causes, right? The effect inside of France is chaos and instability during the Reign of Terror, poverty, and just general kind of instability. And then we've discussed a ton of effects outside of France also, right? We've talked about Haitian Revolution. We've talked about Simone Bolivar and Jose de San Martin. So all of those things kind of count as, impacts outside of France. So just to bring to your attention, the other thing that we talked about with regard to this topic is Napoleon, and they are considering Napoleon as part of the actual French Revolution here for our purposes in this essay, just so you are aware. So for this essay, you're going to have to use 5 documents in your response, 5 different documents in your response. So each bullet point is a body paragraph plus an intro plus a conclusion. Looks like 5 paragraphs to me. So the writing prompt on the Regents actually comes after the documents. So the documents come first. So you'll get a copy of this for yourself. So, just kind of absolutism in general, taxation and the estate system, poverty and stuff like that. Then we're talking about National Assembly, Declaration of the Rights of Man. We went over that also, right? That's a feature of the French Revolution. And you can see some Reign of Terror stuff here, change brought about by the French Revolution. So you could talk about changes inside of France. And then they get into Napoleon's reforms outside of France. We talked about the Civil Code or the Napoleonic Code, and we talked about him installing some of his some friends and relatives on the throne of other places, and so on and so forth. There's a couple other documents here. So your job for today will be to answer the short answer questions. Now, this is a PDF, so there's not really space for you to kind of type into the document. So what I've done is I've provided you with the PDF, and I've also kind of written out a built an answer sheet for you, okay? So just read the documents from the PDF and answer those questions right here in this answer sheet, and that should be good enough, okay? So as far as the assignment and what it looks like, you're going to see a couple different things. You see the PDF, that's the documents. You see the answer sheet here, and you also have the scoring rubric for the essay here. I always like to try to give that to you guys sooner rather than later so that you are ready to kind of go about your business, okay? So I'm only going to have one session of office hours today, so keep a lookout for that. That'll be at 1:20 this afternoon. So if you need anything or have any questions, you can see me during those office hours, or you can write me an email. Other than that, make sure you complete and submit the short answer questions prior to midnight tonight so that you're credited as being present for today, okay? So enjoy the rest of your Asynchronous Wednesday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.